In the early version of GTA 5, Rockstar Games included a digital replica of the Declaration sculpture located on Venice Beach. You probably recognise this and you've probably seen it in GTA 5. However, shortly after the release of the game, the sculpture was quietly removed and replaced with this version, which all stemmed from copyright concerns. It's most likely that the original artist or the city authorities objected to its use in GTA 5. In friend request, Michael approaches Lester's house, and when he knocks on the door, he flips the bird to the security cameras as Lester is watching him. Now, what you might not have known is that in Lester's official artwork, we can see in the background this very moment, which is a really cool Easter egg. Speaking of artworks, this is a completely unused artwork that would have appeared likely on the loading screens. From my knowledge, obviously, it seems to be depicting the aftermath of the Palito bank heist, and I really love this screenshot. However, there's something wrong with it, and if you haven't noticed already, it's kind of back to front. Mount Chiliad would usually be on the other side of the bank, and yeah, everything's back to front in this image. There's a sign by Fort Zancudo which claims that there are beavers and, get this, to watch out for bears in the area. Obviously there are no bears in the area, but something else is that this sign actually misspells Zancudo as Zancudo. You've probably encountered this alien campsite in the desert, and you've probably seen this strange message. This is actually an extremely famous signal called the WOW signal. The WOW signal was a brief, unexplained radio signal detected in 1977 using the Ohio State University's Big Ear telescope. It lasted 72 seconds and was so strong and unusual that the man who discovered it circled it on the paper and wrote, "Wow." To this day, it's one of the most compelling pieces of evidence that alien life may exist outside our solar system. At this graveyard in North Los Santos near the Art Center, if you head up this staircase here, you can find a bench that says "In memory of Chris Edwards." Now, this is a really nice message from Rockstar to a member of the development team who sadly passed away. Originally, GTA 5 was going to have dating sites similar to GTA 4, and believe it or not, we can find the characters' profile pictures. We can find Michael's topless picture, which he would have posted on there, a picture of Amanda in the mirror, and also a picture of Trevor with a rather innocent face. These are icons found in the game files that go completely unused. Some of them are actually from GTA 4, but others you may notice have activities that we never got to see, including an X-rated one, which, yeah, we'll move on. Rockstar Games accidentally left in the build log on the PC version of the game, and upon opening it, we can discover that the earliest build of GTA 5 exists from April 2009, just 1 year after GTA 4, and a whole year before Red Dead Redemption 1. And this may very well be the earliest screenshot we have of GTA 5. If you can even recognise this area, then well done. But this was taken from a time where Rockstar were likely just concepting whether or not a map that big could work. As you know, when you're sneaking up on someone, you're able to perform a stealth attack at close range. But did you know that in the beta version of GTA 5, Rockstar also had the equivalent of these for when you're using weapons, which were up-close finishers, which look really brutal. Shout out to modder Jedi Josh for adding these back to the game, and they look pretty brutal to say the least. I guess the reason it was cut was because it was happening far too frequently when you're close to an enemy. It appears that Chop hates talk radio stations because whenever you switch the radio to a talk station, he will begin barking. Keep that freak off my goddamn show. Talking to freaks. There's an unused interior for dirt bike trials that would have taken place inside the Maze Bank Arena. If you play GTA San Andreas or Vice City, you'll know how fun these dirt bike trials really were. It's a shame that they've still to this day never come to GTA 5. I guess we got the Arena Wars, but personally, that kind of sucked. This is an official screenshot that Rockstar Games released on their website to advertise GTA 5, except there's something very wrong here. If you look really closely on the left hand side of the screen, you can see a gizmo, and that's the XYZ coordinate dev tool that allows you to move props or objects around the map. I can't believe that they forgot to disable this for this screenshot, which is crazy. For many years, there's been plenty of, how do we say it, bullshit videos uploaded to the internet which talk about sewer monsters in GTA 5, but they might actually not be that crazy. In the sewers, when standing here at this grate, you can sometimes hear a deep growling. However, in the game files, you can find these audio noises and listen to them a lot more clearly, confirming that they are in fact growls. So, is it sewer alligators, or is it something else? Did you know the Rebel radio tower in Sandy Shores has a secret Morse code message which will play at 3 AM when the tower is shot at? This message is of course the SOS over and over again. However, something even cooler about this tower, you can hear a much longer broadcast, which is even creepier. This message is actually a Morse code for the same message written at the bottom of the Unused website. It's a pretty creepy cult message. Take a read or pause the video and you'll see what I mean. As it turns out, the Ultraist camp have their own radio tower at the top of the mountain, so I guess this broadcast just got randomly picked up. There's a small box above the map which reads "This does not exist," which can be seen when flying a blimp at the height limit at this exact location. This strange white box is actually located extremely low below the game's ocean. At this spot on Mount Chiliad on last generation consoles, you can find this face engraved into the rocks, which I must say looks a little bit like Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. However, it's more than likely one of the Rockstar developers' faces. Now, in recent gen releases of the game, this has since been patched out and now quite literally shows a chicken or a cock with legs. So I guess Rockstar weren't too happy with this guy. In the mission 3 is Company, while abseiling down the building, every bullet you fire propels you backwards a little bit. It's Rockstar's way of showing you that there's some kind of physics that exists in the world. Except they did quite the opposite by doing that, because if you just continuously fire over and over again, you can basically fly away from the window forever. In the beta version of the game, during the prologue, we would have originally needed to destroy some evidence in an unused surveillance room, and there's also audio lines from Brad that prove this to be the case.
Hey, we gotta torch the servers, come on.
Now you can actually get inside of this surveillance room with the use of a mod menu, and you can see that it's just a bunch of cameras and televisions. Originally, each protagonist would have had their own mission complete jingle that varied and kind of matched the characters' personalities. Trevor's was a raw metal sounding song, while Michael's was more movie-esque and mysterious. According to a November 2012 write-up from a PlayStation Magazine employee, a few select members were invited to Rockstar North's offices to see a 30-minute gameplay footage of GTA 5. Apparently this was only a week before the very first trailer was released. Now, this information was withheld from any articles until a whole year later. They stated that they saw many interiors, which included a shopping mall, a college campus, and a huge hospital. Only one of these interiors made it to the game, and it's only present in one mission. You can find a license plate on this wrecked vehicle in the biker camping grounds near Mount Chiliad Stab City area, and it says California. However, this should actually say San Andreas, because San Andreas is California. San Andreas is the state that GTA 5 takes place in. Inside of this bar in Sandy Shores, you can find photographs on the wall that show GTA 5 in its beta stage of development. You can find a photograph of a combine harvester, which was meant to appear but got cut. You can see a rusty tow truck, and if you look really carefully in the driver's seat, you can see Nico Bellic sitting there. And in this one, you can see just how early on in the game's development this was taken, because this is taken in Sandy Shores or in the desert, but the terrain is completely flat and all you can see is just a bunch of mountains in the background. That's all there is. There's literally nothing else. The loading screen girl artwork is actually completely wrong. You can see Los Santos in the background as well as the Del Perro Pier in the foreground, but that isn't how it works in real life or in GTA 5 at all. It's kind of frying my brain right now, but yeah, this is completely geographically incorrect. There's an arrow on the road opposite the casino, which indicates that there is a right-hand turn. However, as you can see, there definitely isn't any right-hand turn, and instead you would literally just drive off the cliff into the road. Bugstar is the name given to the in-game pest control company, which you are probably well aware of. Don't worry, that's not the fact. The fact is, however, Bugstar is the internal name given to Rockstar's bug reporting system, confirmed by leaked information and developers who have worked on the game. So if you want to report a bug as a Rockstar employee, apparently you have to use Bugstar, the program, to then submit a ticket about the bug you've just found. If you didn't know, Dr. Friedlander can actually be killed following the ending of his last mission appearance in GTA 5. However, this isn't the canon ending because much later on he would appear later as a GTA Online DLC character. Did you know that the ignition pops and flames from a vehicle's exhaust is actually enough to ignite gas trails like gas you've poured from a gasoline canister? I didn't know this, so I guess you learn something new every day. In the mission Complications, where Franklin has to break into Michael's house, the game instructs you to enter through this window by climbing onto the roof. But in the beta version of the game, there's actually an unused animation in the game files that originally Franklin would have climbed the vines. During the mission Deep Inside, you have to infiltrate a movie set to steal the JB700, aka the James Bond car. But in the background, you can see two actors talking in front of a green screen. Now, what you might not have known is this exact scene can be seen in Michael DeSanta's movie Meltdown. If you recall the very first GTA 5 trailer, we saw a guy that looked rather close to CJ. Well, we never actually did find out who this guy was. That was until the GTA Online Bounties DLC update, where he was added as a target called Lil Prince. We finally got to find out who this guy was. GTA 5's illegal black market operation is called the Open Road, a direct parody of the Silk Road, the now defunct real-life website. The site's owner went by the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts. And in GTA 5, there's a mysterious character, LJT, who walks us through how to use the open road, and that stands for Long John Teabag. So Rockstar were definitely referencing the Silk Road's owner in this Easter egg. Originally in the mission Eye in the Sky, Trevor would have threatened the co-pilot to kick him out onto the highway. While this can't be seen in-game, we do believe that we see this moment in the game's trailer, and if you switch back to Trevor, during the mission, you'll hear him saying the following.
I hope it was a soft landing!
In the final version of the game, Trevor never does anything of the sort, but we can still see that the helicopter pilot is the same character. Rockstar games are known for the small details they add that make their games feel realistic, and this next one completely proves it. Because if you were to smash all of your vehicle's windows, and then proceed to take that vehicle through a car wash, your clothes will in fact be wet and drenched when you get out of the vehicle. For some unknown reason, the bulldozer falls at an extremely slow rate of speed despite its weight. In comparison to other vehicles, it makes it look completely otherworldly. When compared side by side with another vehicle in the same weight class, you can clearly see that something's definitely gone wrong here. It's almost as if this vehicle has merely 25% of its weight when it comes to air resistance. If you're using the cinematic camera while operating the drop top on a vehicle, sometimes this will give you a special camera angle which focuses on the transition of the roof. Unless you use cinematic mode often, which you probably don't, this is probably new to you as well. Another tiny detail that most of us would never notice.